information because various life forms die. This does nothing to explain the addition of information, and that's the point which needs to be proved to gain macroevolution, which is the issue, the notion that chimpanzees become human beings. Darwin then is significant not because he was the first to hold or promote evolutionism. There were ancient Greeks hundreds of years before Christ who held to evolutionary theories such as Anaximander. In the modern period, there were philosophers and scientists before Darwin who held a form of evolution. But it's because Darwin proposed a mechanism, natural selection, that he claimed explained how lower life forms could become higher life forms, that he is famous. So evolution for the first time was presented under the guise of science in an industrializing world which worshipped science. And therefore evolution was seen by many as a fact, a progressive, positive fact that we've proved. Evolution was, in short, an idea whose time had come. But this biological evolutionism needs to be seen along with two other intimately related scientific theories of origins. I'm thinking first of all of uniformitarian geology. Uniformitarian geology. Geology is the study of rocks and rock layers. Uniformitarian comes from uniform or constant. The watchword of this movement is the present is the key to the past. The illustration is a river flowing in a valley. Scientifically, you can calculate what amount of sediment is being carried downstream on average every day or every year. And then you work backwards. If so much is carried down each year and we have so much of a valley which needs to be carved out, then it must have taken so many thousands or millions of years at this constant rate of erosion. Never mind, of course, the Bible's teaching on the flood or Psalm 104. This theory of uniformitarian geology gives long ages. The world is tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands, and millions of years old. And this is of service to Darwin and evolutionism because this then gives time for evolution, because evolution needs two things, time and chance. And also this theory was helpful for Darwin because it discredits the Bible, giving more wriggle room for Charles's notions. This uniformitarian geology was proposed by a lawyer by the name of Charles Lyell almost 30 years before 1859 and the first edition of Darwin's On the Origin of Species. Darwin was thinking in that worldview. The world is old, millions of years old. And then this Charles Lyell, who was a friend of Darwin's, urged him, publish your ideas and do it working within, so to speak, the long time ancient earth framework that I have given you. That's the first thing. Uniformitarian geology. That and evolutionism. The two go hand in hand. To those two we need to add Big Bang astronomy. This is the theory that the entire universe expanded from an infinitely dense mass compressed to the size of a pinhead or less. This view has it that there was a huge explosion, the only explosion, which brought order and not chaos. A huge bang. This leaves us with a whole host of unanswered and unanswerable questions. Eternal matter? Where did it come from? How did it come to be compressed in an infinitely dense mass? And then how did the galaxies and planets and stars form from this explosion? And how come we have this planet the way it is today? This Big Bang astronomy is a theory which was accepted by and large by the astronomical community in the 20th century after the two other theories had already been embraced. Uniformitarian geology, evolutionism, and then Big Bang astronomy. And I want to get to this point. What do you get when you put these three theories together? Big Bang astronomy, huge explosion at the very, very beginning. Then uniformitarian geology, shaping the earth so it is the way we have it today, and evolutionism. To answer that question, I'm going to ask three questions in return. Where did life come from? That is, humans, animals, and vegetation. Well, evolution. How did planet Earth, with all its life forms, come to be as we see it now, with seas and oceans and hills and mountains? Uniformitarian geology. Well, where did this planet and the rest of the universe come from? Big Bang astronomy. These three theories, evolution, uniformitarianism, and the Big Bang, are three parts of a jigsaw. Together, they purport to explain the origin of human beings, of life, of planet Earth, and the universe, which is to say, and this is the bit I've been driving at all along, which is to say they purport to explain everything. Everything. All things were made by the Big Bang, uniformitarian geology, and evolution, and without the Big Bang, uniformitarian geology and evolution was not anything made that was made. That's the parody of John 1 verse 3. And this is precisely the wonder of evolution, standing alongside now uniformitarian geology and the Big Bang. Everything's origins is explained without God. He is, as some of them put it, an unnecessary hypothesis. Everything's origins is explained without reference to the Bible, and especially Genesis 1 through 3 and the flood. Everything's origins is explained contrary to the Bible. This is the beauty of evolution for unbelieving, fallen man. There is no God, no sin, no judgment, no everlasting hell. There is no need for repentance and faith, for redemption in the cross of Jesus Christ and for the church, and this is the point. And this is why Charles Darwin has been called, quote, the man who killed God. Now, of this unholy trinity, Big Bang, uniformitarian geology, and evolutionism, of these three, it's evolutionism, and therefore Darwin, that is the